On a cold, rainy evening, Darnell Williams, a dedicated single father, was finishing his shift at the Golden Oak Diner. An elegant woman in a sharp black suit had been nursing her coffee for over an hour, sitting quietly in the corner. When she left, she didn't leave a tip, only a folded note under her empty plate. Darnell's heart stopped when he read the message, a proposal from someone who could change his life forever. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and tell us where you are listening. Your support means everything. The diner sat at the edge of town, a place where few came by choice. Its customers were mostly truck drivers, factory workers, and college students counting every penny for their coffee. Darnell had worked there for 5 years, ever since his wife Michelle passed away unexpectedly in a car accident. He left behind a job in software development, where life made sense, to raise his daughter, Maya. The diner allowed him to be there for her during the day, but it meant missing out on everything else: the bedtime stories, the school plays, the little moments of life. It had been 5 long years of working the night shift, serving food and keeping the peace with customers like Frank, the trucker who told the same stories over and over, and Brittany, a young college student who was often counting quarters to pay for her coffee. Darnell always did his best to help when he could, paying it forward when others were short on cash. He was just getting by, but his love for his daughter kept him going. At 9 p.m., Darnell received a call from Maya, and he took a moment in the kitchen to listen to her sweet voice before returning to his shift. His heart ached for the time he missed with her, but it was a sacrifice he was willing to make. Then, his eyes were drawn to the woman in the corner booth. She didn't belong here. Her clothes, her watch, the way she carried herself, everything screamed wealth and sophistication. When she left, her receipt was left behind, with a note tucked under the plate. Darnell's hands shook as he opened it, finding a business card from Catherine Sterling, CEO of Sterling Industries, and a message that said, "I need to see you. This is not charity. This is a proposal." Darnell was skeptical. Rich people didn't leave notes for waiters, let alone offer them opportunities. But something about her intrigued him, and as much as he wanted to ignore it, his circumstances with Maya's school tuition weighed heavily on his mind. He couldn't afford it, and a small part of him wondered if this could be the answer he had been looking for. He spent the night thinking about the offer, reading the note over and over again. The next morning, he visited Sterling Industries, dressed in his only suit, which no longer fit him properly. The building was a towering, polished structure, far removed from his life at the diner. He was shown to Catherine Sterling's office, where she greeted him warmly and offered him coffee. She explained her actions the night before, revealing that the tip had been a test and evaluation of his character. He had passed. She was offering him a job as a community outreach manager for a new initiative aimed at helping struggling families. The offer was real, and the money $75,000 a year, with benefits and a scholarship for Maya, was enough to change everything for Darnell. But he hesitated. The doubts crept in. Was this too good to be true? Was he just another project for a billionaire to test her theory of kindness? Catherine wasn't asking him to take the job for the money, but for the values she saw in him. She wanted someone who saw people for who they were, not their circumstances. Darnell's heart was torn, knowing that accepting the job could change his daughter's life but also risk their privacy and dignity. He went home and spoke with Maya about the offer, and she encouraged him to take the chance to help others the way he had helped people at the diner. Still, Darnell wasn't sure. The story of Catherine's own mother, a waitress who had sacrificed everything for her daughter, stayed with him. It made him think twice about the offer, but it also sparked something inside him, a desire to help others the way he had been helped. The news about Darnell's new job offer spread, and with it came rumors and judgment. People at the diner whispered, and Maya's classmates teased her, calling her dad a gold digger. Darnell felt the sting, but he remained firm in his decision, even when the pressure mounted. The offer was about much more than the money. It was about dignity, helping others, and giving Maya the life he had promised Michelle. Despite the backlash, Darnell knew he had to follow through, not just for himself but for all the families he could help. As he worked tirelessly to shape the Second Chances initiative, helping people like Tamara and Jerome find new opportunities, he realized that the program was more than just charity. It was about giving people dignity and hope, a chance to start fresh. Months later, the initiative was a success, but things nearly fell apart when Catherine's health took a toll. The board of directors wanted to cut the program, but Darnell stood up for it, speaking from the heart about what it meant for the families involved. His words were powerful, and in the end, the board voted to continue the program. As time passed, Darnell remained humble, still working one shift a week at the diner to keep in touch with the people who inspired him. His work had made a difference in the lives of countless families. And as he watched Maya grow, he knew that he had kept his promise to Michelle. One night, Catherine returned to the diner, leaving Darnell a note that simply said, "You're doing great. Keep going." She had seen the impact of his work, and she knew he was the right person for the job. Darnell smiled, the note tucked into his pocket, and he locked up the diner for the night. As he walked to his car, he texted Maya, "Love you, baby. See you in the morning." Some tips, he realized, were worth more than money. Some tips changed lives. And those tips, passed forward, would continue to change the world. The next morning, the sun was just beginning to peek through the curtains as Darnell woke up to the sound of Maya humming in the kitchen. He dragged himself out of bed, still tired but filled with a sense of purpose he hadn't felt in years. Maya was already preparing breakfast, something she had learned to do in his absence, carefully cracking eggs into a pan. "Good morning, Daddy," she smiled, her curls bouncing as she turned to face him. "I made pancakes." Darnell chuckled, the weight of the past few weeks lifting a little. "That smells amazing, sweetie. Thanks for making breakfast." "You're welcome. I even made them extra fluffy, just like you like." She beamed, proud of herself. He ruffled her hair affectionately. "You're becoming quite the chef. What do you think about going to the park after breakfast?" Maya's eyes lit up. "Can we? That sounds fun." The thought of spending a whole afternoon with Maya was something Darnell had been craving for years. The job at Sterling Industries had taken a toll on his time, but he was finding ways to balance it all. His work now felt meaningful, not just for the paycheck, but because he was genuinely changing lives. The families they had helped, the single mothers, the fathers like Jerome, had all come to rely on the program he was leading. And it was only growing. After breakfast, they spent the day at the park, playing catch and laughing together. For the first time in a long time, Darnell felt truly at peace. The stress of the world seemed to fade away, replaced by simple moments with the person who meant the most to him. As they sat on a park bench, watching children run past them, Maya leaned against him. "Daddy, I'm really proud of you. You help a lot of people." Darnell smiled, his heart swelling with love for her. "I'm proud of you too, baby. And I promise, I'm always going to try my best for us." Later that week, Darnell received a call from Catherine. The board had approved the next phase of the Second Chances initiative. They were expanding it to even more communities. She wanted him to be more involved in the planning, overseeing a team to handle outreach in different cities. It was everything he had dreamed of when he first took the job, an opportunity to make a bigger impact, to build a legacy of hope. "I'm ready," he told her confidently. "Let's do this." The next few months were a whirlwind of meetings, logistics, and working with the team to expand the program. Darnell remained grounded, always remembering where he came from. He never let the success change him, always returning to the diner one shift a week, serving coffee to the same regulars who had watched him grow. It wasn't easy. There were days when the pressure felt unbearable, and doubts crept in. But those doubts were quieter now. Darnell knew he had made the right choice. His work had meaning, and most importantly, It was giving Maya the stability and opportunities he'd promised Michelle. One evening, as Darnell walked through the diner after his shift, Earl, the diner owner, stopped him. "You've done good, Darnell," he said, his voice rough with emotion. "You've made something of yourself. Hell, you've made something of all of us." Darnell smiled, his tired eyes twinkling. "I couldn't have done it without all of you. This place, these people, this is where I learned how to care, how to make a difference, one small action at a time." As he locked up the diner for the night, Darnell took a deep breath. The rain had stopped, and the air felt fresh, the world renewed. He could hear the soft hum of the city in the distance, a constant reminder that the world was full of stories, struggles, triumphs, and people willing to make a difference.